Okay. Yay, I got my digital camera to work for the moment. The USB plug-in is messed up on it, so I have it literally wrapped around the camcorder right now to hold it in place. Okay, let's see. Let me get my little talking points up here. Okay, first of all, we'll talk about my vacation in Vegas. Okay, got on the plane, all 4 of the planes to get there and home. Wasn't what I had pictured in my head, especially the plane from from Pensacola to Vegas, or to Houston. It was so small. Like, I walked in through the little walkway thing and got on the plane and freaked out because I had pictured in my head like this plane with 3 seats here and 3 seats here, at least, you know, at the minimum. No, we were on a little 50-seater little plane with the 1 row and then 2 seats on another row. So, but I was okay. The first takeoff was kind of freaky, to say the least. I literally had a magazine over my face for the majority of the takeoff. But we got to fly over New Orleans during the day, so that was pretty rad. I'd have to say that was really, really cool to be able to see that from the sky. I mean, it was cool and then it wasn't cool at the same time, because you could really see where Katrina came in and left her mark. It was actually really sad, but it's pretty amazing to see it from that perspective. And then we got to fly over the Mississippi River, got to see that, and when we came into Texas, I got to see all the oil refineries burning, which was kind of sad. You really get a good view of the pollution from the sky. Of course, not everybody thinks like me. I was looking for it, so. But it was overall okay. I really didn't freak out too bad until actually the flight home, the flight from Dallas to Pensacola. For some reason, I started having a panic attack. Of course, my husband next to me was asleep. I think maybe it was because I drank a Starbucks like right before we got on the plane. And it was another small plane, and the pilot, I don't know why, just kept turning and turning and turning. And I'm like, what is he doing? And because on the way there, it was like a straight shot, pretty much, you know. So all the turning was kind of freaking me out, and we rode through some clouds, and I couldn't see anything for quite a while. We were in such dense cloud cover. But I did get to see the Grand Canyon on the way back, and some other good sights. I did have my face plastered in the window most of the time. But I got through it, and it was fun. We went to see a couple of shows. We went to see Zumanity, which is part of the Cirque du Soleil. Oh, it was so good. Got the t-shirt, Zumanity. I highly recommend it if you're going to Vegas. Totally worth the money, and actually we only had to pay $20 a piece for the tickets, but we had to sit through a timeshare thing. We went in for like 2 hours. We did it early in the day, so it was no big deal. As long as you're able to say, no, we're not gonna buy this, then you get, you know, whatever you signed up for in the beginning. So we got our Zumanity tickets for really cheap, and the show was off the chain, y'all. It was so good. And it is an adult themed show. There is a lot of nudity in it, but it's so awesome. It's so amazing. We went to see this show called Fantasy at the Luxor, which is the big pyramid-shaped casino. That show sucked, okay? We paid $65 a piece for the tickets. It was horrible. It was like, basically, it was a topless show, but it was horrible. It was stupid. It was a bunch of girls dancing around with no tops on. They weren't even like burlesque or whatever you call the showgirls. It was nothing like that. It was just like these chicks, these 5 chicks, dancing around with no shirt on. I mean, it was nothing spectacular, and they weren't that hot. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm hot, but if you're going to be in a show in Vegas. But so don't waste your money on the fantasy show if you're going to Vegas. And another thing that we did that was could have been potentially pretty cool was we went by the Chris Angel production company, and you could have signed up to be in a show, but we were actually leaving the next day, and the show was like 3 days later. So, but I got some cool Chris Angel gear. I got a new shirt, and got some stuff at the Luxor. So we stayed at the Monte Carlo, which sucked, by the way. It's supposed to be one of the nicer places, and nah. We stayed at the Monte Carlo. It was horrible. We actually switched to the Hooters Casino later in the week because we stayed an extra couple of days for a friend of ours' birthday. And, you know, my husband and his buddy, so we stayed at Hooters. Ooh. But Hooters was really nice. It was a really nice casino. It was way better than Monte Carlo. The rooms were a lot nicer. Everything was better there. So I'm glad we did switch over. Okay, that's everything about Vegas. It was awesome. It was fun. It was Vegas. So, and I'm glad. I'm pretty proud of myself for getting on the plane. I didn't have to take any drugs either, and I didn't drink anything. So, so I'm really super extra proud of that. Okay, and then when I got home from Vegas, this is my little cancer update. I got home from Vegas. I had to go the next day to Jacksonville. I had to drive, or 2 days later, I'm sorry. The next day we had to drive to Tallahassee to pick up Braden. So 2 days later we drive back to Jacksonville, and I had to have another procedure. I wouldn't really call it a surgery. I was awake for it. God, horrible to be awake for those kinds of things, but it wasn't too bad. This was only like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. I feel fine. I haven't had any kind of problems, so I've already gotten my results from the biopsy that they did during the LEAP procedure. I don't know what that stands for, but negative, no signs of cancer right now, so yeah, yay, that's great. You know, I do have a virus that causes the cancer, so just because it's not there right now doesn't mean it's not going to come back. I do have this virus that will never go away that causes cancer, so. But I don't have the cancer now, so that's great. No hysterectomy. Thank God I got a second opinion, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of freaky that this other doctor was just like, oh, we need to schedule you right away for a hysterectomy. You know, you need to do this as soon as possible, and we need to just get that out of there. 26 years old, I want my uterus. Sorry. So I got a second opinion at the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville. Love the Mayo Clinic. And they got it done. And they're great. I love the Mayo Clinic. The doctors give a crap about you, which makes a huge difference. So I highly recommend the Mayo Clinic to anyone for anything. So yay, no cancer. And I like to think about having another baby. I mean, that was my whole big thing, is I wanted to at least have one more child. You know, and I do want that, and I kind of feel pressured to like do it now, because now is the time. I still have my cervix and I still have my uterus, but I just feel like I can't with where Braden is at. He just has to be a little bit further along. This is our 5th year into diapers, and there's been no progress with potty training. So I just need to get further along with that. So anyway, let's update on Braden. His blood work is in the mail. I called today. I'm like, hello, is his blood work done? I've, you know, been waiting on this forever. They were like, oh yeah, it's done. Just sitting around here in the office. So I'm like, well, could you mail it out to me and tell me what the next step is? Because I don't know, you're the doctor. So they put his blood work in the mail today, and so it should be here Monday or Tuesday. And then I'm gonna, I guess, make an appointment at his Dan doctor and go from there. If they tell me that they can't chelate yet, I'm gonna freak out. I don't know what's gonna happen. I really don't know, so I can't even make any guesses about how I'm gonna react to that. So far, the diet is going well. He's still eating one of his items, the cheese snacks. He's not eating them 2 or 3 times a day like he was. He's getting them 1 time, and he's only getting 4 to 5 pieces. But still, you know, that's way too much. A little bit is too much. So I'm trying to work him into, unfortunately, baby foods, but that's the only option I have right now. The gluten-free stuff that we're buying for him, he's just not eating it. He'll just let it sit there for literally 24 hours. He will not touch it. So I've been putting baby food in his syringe that we give him his medications with, and he's been eating the banana oatmeal peaches mixture.